Friday Fleet is founded on 11th of August 2023. It's a community dedicated to uplifting women by providing weekly online sessions that blend self-help and technical learning. Through knowledge sharing, encouragement, and peer support, we help women excel in their careers while building resilience, confidence, and meaningful connections. So, by these words, I invite our founder, CA Kalpana Thakur, for her opening remarks for starting the session. Thank you. Over to you, Kalpana.
Thank you so much, Gunjan, for such a lovely start. First of all, I would like to wish a very happy new year to all our participants. Uh, you're here. It shows that you're committed to learn and grow and having that resolution for the year 2026 without taking your much time. Financial awakening. That's our today's topic and discussion. Couple of minutes back, I was discussing this with a dear friend that just, bacho, I'm so sorry for the background noise. When it comes to competency, we are at par with male, the male professionals. However, when it comes to taking that decision of wealth, investment, and what to do with the earnings, most of the time we take a back that no, this is not our cup of tea. Let's handle them by their own. They are the expert. So we need to change that thought process. If we are earning, we should take charge of what to how to deal with it, how to invest, how to spend, and how to save. So that's why we are here for that. You can say it is a focus area for 2026. That's why we are having the first session, very first session in 2026. Without taking your much time, I'm sure all of you are eager to listen what we are having, what our speaker is having to share with all of us. Thank you so much. Over to you, Gunjan. Gunjan, are you there?
Yes, one minute, just 1 minute. I'm starting my video. Is it visible, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So before we begin with our speaker, Meenu Ahuja, so please join me in welcoming Meenu with some words about her, introduction about her. So it's my pleasure to introduce a multifaceted marketing leader whose career spans diverse roles and industries. So she is MBA and graduate. She is leading marketing at Mentor Wealth right now, where her work goes beyond campaigns or communication. Her focus is on building marketing as a structured and thoughtful function, one that brings clarity to how ideas are communicated and understood. With close to 2 decades of experience across multiple functions and environments, Meenu brings a well rounded perspective on how marketing connects with people, processes, and decision making. So, in today's investment awareness session, financial awakening session, her role is not to predict outcomes or offer promises, but to help build perspective towards encouraging clearer thinking, better questions, and more informed conversations around money and long term planning. So, thank you, Meenu, for joining today's session. And I hand over to you this virtual mic for starting the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Gunjan. Thank you so much. And thank you, Kalpana. So, first of all, good evening, everyone, and a very, very happy new year to each one of you. And I'm so glad for the Friday Fleet to giving me this opportunity to come and talk about the most important topic, as Kalpana really mentioned, that There are a lot of invisible gaps that I really wanted to bring out here and wanted to ensure that everybody takes up the charge for their investments awareness program. So once again, I would mention that today's session is not about products, it's not about markets, it's about you, it's about us, it's about our goals, your goals, and the milestones. As India is really evolving and the financial landscape that we are really looking at can help us secure our life as well. So, I would love to call this session as a financial awakening session. And that's the reason we would start with that. So, let's begin. So, Gunjan, would you want to share the screen?
Yes, sure. Is it visible, right?
Yes. So, formally, everyone, welcome to this particular session, which is named as Goal Based Wealth Creation, a financial awakening session, where I would love at the end of the session, we discover like how to align on your investments with your goals, because goals are really very important aspect when we really wanted to secure our financial with really having an opportunity of creating a wealth. So that's what we would start with. So, moving ahead. So, with here, let me really begin with a very small story, which is very relatable to each one of us. So, I have given a frictional name to this person is Raj, a very hard, or I would say any one of us as a woman, Meenu or somebody else, where he or she is a hardworking professional, just like most of the people we are here, like listening here and are in this session. In 2014, she got a promotion and her salary got doubled from say 5 lakh to 10 lakhs rupees. Life felt very comfortable and very predictable and felt like, oh, everything has been achieved and secured. Fast forward 2024, another promotion, another doubling of the salary that has happened. But something really unexpected happened here because the cost of the goals, the cost of the life that was getting really spent did not had the same it did not had some same goals and achievement that really wanted. Because what happened there, where the moment happened, his goals and his everything got increased. He got married or she got married, the son's education, the retirement planning and everything, the cost got really increased. But the gap between the income and the growth has got inflated. So even though our salaries are doubled, unless and until we don't have that structured approach, this gap is invisible and is going to really have future impact. So that's what it is. Really wanted to start with this small story to really get you that why the goals are really important. So moving to the next slide. So the question is, are you saving or beating inflation? So now the question is, why does this invisible gap that we are talking about does exist? Because most of the traditional saving vehicles that we have today, name it fixed deposit, PPF, all of them are really generating a 6% to 7% an interest return that we are always seeing. And if it's a saving, it's 3%, which means that the 6% returns is and the 6% inflation, even though the growth is happening, our salaries are increasing, the inflation is really and the cost is beating, so we are not seeing our actual growth of our wealth because of this particular traditional vehicle that is being used or is being aware as of now, that most of the people are investing or really feeling that it's secure and being the money is still into the fixed deposit or certain other traditional vehicles where it's being placed today. So inflation is really beating the investments and it's not helping, is one of the reasons the wealth creation of the alpha is not happening. Next. So, from consumer to owner. So I just wanted to say that every day we consume a lot of things. Or today we are on the Zoom link. So we are really using the internet services, the Zoom services, which is a service-based industry. There are a lot of other products that we really use into day in, day out. And what's happening is we pay bills, we buy products, we contribute to the company's revenue. At the end of the day, whatever we buy, the buy happens from that particular company, and that company really generates a profit. Now once you really wanted to become a shareholder of that particular company, or you wanted to really become the owner of part of that company, that's the shift that really needs to happen from consumer to owner. Is the modern is a foundation of the modern wealth creation. So we really need to ask ourselves, do we want to remain a consumer, or do we want to become an owners? Because owners always share profit, and owners are going to participate in the growth story of the engine. So that's what I would love to mention here, that we need to identify the products that we are using, which products are generating these well. Is there a way that we could become a shared profitable partner to that particular things? So from consumer to owner, that shift is really important, and need to understand how. That's the most important question that we would talk about the same into the next slides. Next. Now, this is a very important question. I wanted to say that there are a lot of people who are asked, like, what is mutual fund? So mutual fund is like, the word mutual itself resembles that people come mutually. There are a lot of people come and pool the money together mutually, and they come and invest into the particular scheme or the fund scheme out there. And the money that is getting invested from a lot of people together is handled by the professional managers, which is called as a fund managers. Fund managers are those expert who is studying the industries day in and day out. The fund managers have an idea that where and how they could invest, so it gets the mutual fund amount that's collected from the way a lot of pool of people is invested into various different companies, various different categories, various different industries. So there is nothing that is getting invested into the one thing. It is getting divided into the various different funds, various different industries, and that, and various different asset allocations, like the percentage of the equity and debt in each and every caps are different. And the most important, as I rightly mentioned, is the diversification, because what we invest, there is a really very less, I mean, I don't think so. There could be any industry that could be down entire time. So if there is IT industry, if there is a banking industry, if there is any other industry, the fund that's get invested into the diversification, there is a way that the volatility is going to get average, and that's the way it is helping us to generate profit from the investment that we do into the mutual fund, because of the major reason is diversification. Next slide. So this is a very important question, that, and this is a question that a lot of people ask: Is mutual fund safe or it is unsafe? So very common question. The real answer for this question is it depends. It depends on how you invest and not into what you invest in. So diversification, as we rightly spoke about in the last slide, is protects you. As we see that the diversification helps us to really invest our money into the various different industries and categories. The professional fund managers, the experts that we have talked about, they are the expert who reads day market day in and day out, and understand that how and where and how to exit and how do they invest. Then the most important is the SEBI guidelines. So we have this SEBI, who is a regulatory safeguard for all of us. The real danger is not in investing, it's investment without clarity, or relying only on a traditional options that loses the inflation. As we spoke about in our previous slides, inflation is something which is not help us to grow, because inflation is The percentage of interest that we earn is the same amount of inflation that we are really into. So safety comes from strategy and really not from the guesswork. So that's what the in the nutshell the answer is, that it's on how we are investing versus not into what you are investing in. Next slide. So this is a really very one of my favorite slide, because this is where gives the maximum reason of the awareness that I really wanted to bring across. So as you look at this particular slide, 80 the Indian mutual fund opportunity is the current AUM is 80 lakh crore, and the global market for this is 147 trillion. And out of that, only in India, only 3%, so the 3% of household penetration is really investing into mutual fund. So we are not late. Like globally, the industry is 147 trillion. India is still at 0.65. We are not late, we are early, because we are the beginning of the country's greatest wealth creation phase, and each one of us has a chance to participate. So understanding about the mutual fund and when to start, if you have not done it, the right time to start is today. So the market, the global market is very big, and only 0.65% is India market. So as we see, the vision of 2030 for this particular market is 200 lakh crore, and 20% of CGR is being projected. Kunjan, next slide. So the most important characteristics, or the most important term that really helps in getting invested, is the power of the time and the discipline. So compounding is the eighth wonder of the magic, that I would say. So as we see here, the Albert Einstein reportedly called compounding interest the eighth wonder of the world, as the return generates their own return and create an exponential growth over the time. So, a 10,000 monthly SIP of 20 years at 12% of return grows to more than an 80 lakhs today. Out of that, 56 lakh that is getting generated, it itself is a compounding interest that's got generated alone as a money that got created during this with the basic 12% of the return. So small amount becomes generational impact if it started early. So I would say that compounding is not only the reason, but one of the most important reason that really helps the mutual fund and the wealth creation grows. In the next slide, let's take an example and see that what is the magic of the compounding. So in look at the difference. So anybody who have invested for 10 years is generating a wealth income of say 23 lakhs. Somebody who is really doing it for 20 years is generating 1 crore, and the same amount of investment being done for 30 years is generating 3.5 crores. So the total importance here is on the time. It is important to be consistent. It is important to be a long term investment, because the power of compounding is really exponential, as we really have a lot of years that we are investing into. So that's a uh, major example that I really wanted to give about the it is the biggest lever for mutual fund to grow. Yeah. So there's a lot of time wherever I have a discussion with the people and the clients, that they come and they say that they have heard about an SIP, and they have heard about their family members investing here and there, but very unclear about why they wanted to invest. They want to invest because friend is investing, they want to invest because family is investing, but they are not clear about their own goals. So investment without goal is like traveling without knowing where you're going. when you define goal, whether it's your child education, whether it's retirement or financial freedom, your entire strategy becomes very simple and it's measurable, because we have a defined goal that we really wanted to invest this much, and we really wanted to create this much. So what should be the amount that I really need to start saving, and we really need to create a strategy to reach there, rather just having an saying that I want to create wealth, but I really don't know. Because the moment you keep a goal, it's measurable, and that's where you are able to so for example, for 10 year for the next in the next 10 years, you really need a 1 crore of rupees for your child's education. I'm making one example here. And when you're on the 5th year, you are really revisiting your goal and saying that my goals have shifted. The amount that I really created got real, I need to use it somewhere else. So in case if we really wanted to take that goal ahead, I would revisit that goal and say that, hey, this is what I need to do now to ensure that the child's education goal that I really wanted to create that corpus, how do I do that? There are a lot of people who are like wanted to retire. There's a lot of people coming and say that I really wanted to retire at 50, and I really wanted to utilize the SWP pattern so that I am able to create a same I'm able to stay with the same lifestyle that I'm today. So what is an amount that I really wanted to start investing today? And if I can't invest that now, how we can create a strategy to step up SIP, so that I can slowly and gradually create that corpus, so that I could do an SWP for next 20 years and also create my balance uh, corpus remaining into the compounding. So when you really have your goals, creating wealth vehicle is really easy and it is really measurable. In case if it's not, there are a lot of clients that comes and say that we really don't understand goals, unless we try to really explain them, and the wealth creation could be their goal, like in next 10 years I need that kind of an amount. So that's where we say that we really explain why goal is very important when you invest, and how it really helps you to get there. So strategic planning is one of the important reason, building that corpus to generate that you life earned into the retirement. And financial freedom, it's like mathematics, that I wanted to have this much of finance and I really wanted to really have built so much of wealth, kind of a thing. Yeah. So, why generic portfolio fails? One size fits never fits all. So, as this statement itself says that the unless and until we don't have goal, it is very difficult, because the risk appetite for each and individual person is different. The timeline, the time horizon that a person wanted to stay invested is also very different. So there could be two people who, one, they could have same goals but very different risk appetite. Somebody who is really wanted to go at a very higher and aggressive risk versus somebody wants to be very conservative and play safely. There could be somebody, both of them want to go 10 years, but the return that they would generate would be different, because somebody really went a little aggressive and said that I wanted to put everything into the equity and I wanted to, like, the allocation please go up, say, and high. There could be somebody who say that I really want to maintain the 12-13% of interest that I really wanted to generate as an alpha from the traditional vehicle saving, but I really wanted to play safe. Please make my asset allocation 50% to equity and 50% to this, or 60-40, whatever that. And the emotional and the financial condition for different individuals are different. There could be a possibility there are different already loans that are going around for one person, versus one person is does not have any loan and he's loan free and have a same goal. So that's the reason it is important to have a clarity. It is important to understand the risk profiling of that particular person, and it is important then we really do a very deep research, because we have a research department specific that we do a research, because we read 10 to 15 parameters, not only just CAGR, we have rolling returns, alpha, what is standard deviation. So that's where individual funds, two same funds are going to operate in a different manner for two-person for the same goal, because it's based on their risk profile. So that's the reason we say that one size never fits for all. I would just wanted to give a brief. It's not a pushy call. Just wanted to like mentor wealth. We are from 25 years into the industry. We are AMP compliant. We really work with a goal based approach, and we have a dedicated research team. That's it. I would love to just mention about our mentor wealth. Next slide. So before I end this presentation, I wanted to mention here that to remember three things: quantify your goals, be clear, have a clarity that why we really wanted to have this goal. Validate your current savings. Are you beating the inflation? So do you have funds that's been invested into the traditional vehicle? uh, uh, Introspect that, verify that, and check it that do you need to diversify your investments where you really could generate the alpha about that. Seek clarity. I would say that you need a financial expert who really have this guidance, because as it's meant that whenever you need an health checkup, you really go to the health doctor. Similarly, the financial checkup, we really need to go to the financial doctors or financial expert, because there's a lot of noise from the fin influencers, and there's a lot of noise coming in from the different people, which really we have seen the cases that people panic and exit because of the noise that's been created. And so it's important, whoever you feel that is going to be your financial expert, discuss that cases with them of your wealth creation, have a clear goal, and then seek a clarity about that. So financial confidence begins with awareness but grows through action. So it's important to, as I mentioned, it is important to start, and the right time to start is today. Next slide. Okay. So as I rightly mentioned, so wanted to say that it's not again a pushy call. It's not here, but I'm really here to help you do a free portfolio review in case if somebody is interested in or wanted any financial guidance and export. So the number is here, and Kalpana has my details in case if somebody needs an help and awareness about or any support around how to do this. I could definitely help you out. That's it. So this is where, and now it's like open to any questions if anybody has it.
Thank you, Minu. Session was
Thank you.
insightful, and we have got so much knowledge. So I request all the participants, if you have any questions, so please feel free to ask.
I'll just take a minute, Gunjan. Respected CA Dr. Rajkumar Adukia sir is here. Sir, are you there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm there.
Yes, so sir, this is the first session of 2026.
Yes,
Your inspiration and motivation, as always, needed.
yeah, yeah. Wish you very happy 2026. Ashwini, Gunjan, Minuji, Kalpana, Titi,
Happy New Year, sir.
yeah, Maheshwari, and Samina. And we have 1 plus 70. I think this beginning of the year is always an occasion to make a new resolution, look at our plan, and the topic which Meenu Ahuja ji is covered, when I became chartered accountant in 83, one worry with me was if I die today, what will happen to the family? So that time there was a plan. I do not remember the name. Whole time life plan. The premium was very less, and the risk was covered. Today we have plans, where we only pay premium, and the risk is covered. If person do not die, the premium has gone, but it is worth taking that minimum premium amount payable. We know about Mediclaim. That is one which we should take. Similarly, the investment, like I had invested at that point of time. So now, last month I completed 66. So there were many policies which got matured in when I turned 60. Now there are many policies where I get an annuity till my death. So I am talking about, the policies. And beyond that, we have other investments, SIPs, then savings for the passive income. Then, when we started this Friday fleet, the purpose was how we can increase our income, increase our happiness. So maybe, Kalpana ji, you recharge the whole group. We have, I think, 500 plus for a week at least. Ki make a goal for 2026, and you say that yourself and myself, we will jointly, along with other masterminds. Somebody posted me in the morning, elaborate little more, because I wrote in the group, pro bono, I volunteer to be a mastermind for the goal in 2026. So maybe even if 10% of the members, 5% of members, they wake up, there is another group, Kalpana ji, perhaps you are a member of that, failed Friday evening. Are you a member there? Failed? No, perhaps not.
No, sir.
Vasudev Pere, Rajeshwari.
Yes, FELD. Yes, sir. I am. I am.
So there, Vasudev, they have made a group of 26 persons. We will be reading 26 books in 2026. And I am seeing his mentoring every day. He will post twice what you have read, post on that. So perhaps if we post one message in the group, somebody will wake up or take a call. What can be done? So Minuji, congratulations and thank you for awakening on
Thank you,
why
sir.
we should make a goal. Like I keep on my table the book. 1 minute, sorry. So this is all for from my side. Kalpana, carry on. My wife is calling me, so I'll pick up her call. Thank you.
That's important, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So back to you, Gunjan, to take.
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir, for your words and Happy New Year once again. So, I hand over to you, Kalpana, now for vote of thanks. And session was quite interested, and we got to know that compounding magic and how averaging done in the return while we do SIP, sometimes it becomes negative, sometimes it's positive. So when it comes in negative, so we some people think that we should withdraw the amount, we should get out of it, but patience is also very much important in this market. So once we do continue for in that negative period as well, so once one time it come, then there we get positive return, very much positive return based on that averaging. So this is the uh, I would say this is the point we should keep in mind while we are doing investment. So I think Ashwini has some question. Yes, Ashwini.
Hi, Meenu.
Hi,
Happy New
Ashwini.
Year. Happy
Happy.
New Year to all my friends here.
Yes.
So normally what happens is, though we start investing, when suddenly some emergency happens. So these things are very liquid and easily available when required. Just like having planning for a purchase of house or some house, something like that, where lakhs together is required. And though we had some funds in LIC or anything, they are not as liquid as this share market investments and mutual funds.
Yeah.
So in that time, we force ourselves to withdraw that, though we don't want to. So
Yeah.
how to main it happened with me for 3 4 times.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
had savings in time of emergency. We just liquidated, and again we have to start from the scratch. That compounding effect is missing in our case.
Exactly, exactly. So, a fantabulous question. So, the rule here is that whatever you do a saving, always ensure that you really start a little bit saving itself for your emergency fund. You divide your savings into the mutual fund, and that's where the rule itself is say that it is important to stay consistent in mutual fund, because the moment you are consistent, then only there is a power of compounding. And as you rightly said that uh, you had that, because LIC has a lock-in period, the PPF has a lock-in period, you know that the amount is there, but you can't invest. And mutual fund, you feel that that's the reason, the goal, that now you understand the why it is important to have that goal and march towards that goal, saying that hey, this is a discipline, is a word that I really wanted to say, and I wanted to be disciplined enough, and I really don't need to touch this corpus as of now, because my goal is to really use this fund for the goal that I have created. So discipline is a one word that I would answer to you, that I don't need to touch this invest to really get out of it thinking that hey, it's done, because the time of compounding, when you start, as you said that you twice started, that you could have really made a difference, that if that fund have been going through, you would have really generated a corpus, because you are generating interest on interest. So that's what, so stay invested, and being a discipline is the biggest thing into the mutual fund here. That's what I would say.
Thank you.
Thank you. Uh, Thank you everyone for the patience hearing. So I would like to ask one more time, if anyone would like to ask any question, they can do so, or they would like to share what the intention they are having for 2026 when it comes to investing their money. Rajlakshmi, Samina, and Aditi. I think it is because of the new year we are having the limited strength this meeting. Okay.
Yeah, Kalpana, I would like to ask one more question to Meenu.
Yeah, sure.
So, Meenu, what is the difference if we do that SIP by self? Like we have multiple mobile apps, right? Zerodha or something like that. So we can invest by self as well. But if we take via any expert, financial expert, so what is the difference we can get?
So, if you are doing it yourself, that is, do it yourself. So, whether as do you really have a full financial expert? Do you have full study of the scheme? Do you understand that as per your goal, is this the right scheme for your strategy that you really want to? Because when you really have a financial expert, they are not studying the only couple of schemes that they really want to invest in. They really study the 4,000 schemes that's available in the market, and they just, when as they study, they do a very detailed study of what's the alpha, what's the standard deviation, what's the rolling returns for last 10 years. When you do it yourself, a lot of people are doing it, but what really happens is the moment the market is down, and that's moment where somebody really needs to come and guide them, that hey, this is because you are going to stay invested for the long time, the market is down as of now, it's not going to impact you as an individual because of the goal, but if you stay invested is where you would be able to achieve goal, and that's where you need somebody to guide you and really help you to say that rather somebody gets out of the scheme at a very panic mode and really make losses. So that's really very important to doing it DIY, because there's a lot of noise as we have been. I'm sure this generation has been into the phase where we have seen the entire curve of how the digital market has moved, and there's a lot of influence that of the social media that's happening as of now. So there are a lot of information. There's a lot of information available on the Google. There's a lot of information available, and that's where we get little hooked up and say that, oh, this is a right time, I'll go and buy entire gold, I'll go and buy entire silver, and not understanding that it's a commodity and what percentage of your part of your investment should be this. So it's important to have a good expert. And if you really go into the history and check the wealthy people who is really wealthy and rich, they never do it themselves because they really need to focus on their own work and really earn and have a financial expert who really helps them wealth creation, who are the expert of it. So that's the example that I would love to give you.
Okay. So, like you said, we have different schemes. So for that, we need someone who can study on our behalf, who can guide us. So
Yes.
fund manager's role is something different. Like that is not related to that. Like
Yeah.
I'm confusing between, yeah.
Yeah. So fund managers are the managers who are managing the schemes. So like for the pooling of the money that is being managed, like how much percentage of equity is as per the SEBI guideline they could buy into this, how much percentage of debt but they are managing their particular funds. So they are managing the funds of their own. So the professional man, giving you an example, there's a Parak Parik fund. So that person is handling all the money getting invested into his Parak Parik fund. There's another AMC, say SBI mutual fund. There is another AMC of the professional manager is handling for the SBI mutual fund. So there are different fund managers for individual scheme, but the financial expert is somebody who is studying all the schemes and not just their own schemes. That's what I would say.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yes, Ashwini, you can ask now.
Yes, I mean, imagine a situation
Mm-hmm.
where we have to expand our business
Mm-hmm.
for the including working capital, fixed like interiors and all. We are expanding, requiring a huge funding requirement. So
Right.
one side we have this investments,
Mm-hmm.
and one side we have loan options like 10%, 12%, say within 12%,
Right.
like OD or something, working capital and term loan.
Right.
So how do you suggest which is the best option, whether to liquidate this savings or we go for this one? Because it is a fund in hand.
Right, right. So totally depends on what is the percentage of interest that you are going to give to the bank. So if the interest that you're going to the bank, giving to the bank is something that what you're generating on this investment is higher, so it is advisable to take a loan versus doing that, because this the difference is the alpha that you are generating out of that. So that's where you should not touch this investment and have a loan and really managed from that, because you can, in case if you have an alpha, say you're paying say 8 to 9%, and here you're getting 13 to 14%. That's where the second other option is also that I would love to address it here. There are a lot of corporates, there are a lot of organizations or corporates wherein what happens is on every 10th or 12th they really are done with all of their vendor payments, they are done with all of their salaries and everything. There is an money that is idle in their bank for 20 days or 10 days or 5 days. That's where there are a lot of people who invest into the liquid fund. That is also safe because it gives you the safe, almost similar kind of an interest that you generate into your saving account. The only advantage of that you don't have a locking period. When you invest that idle money for some time into the fixed deposit, you really need to have a span of time that you need to in case if you really take a money out of that for 10, you have invested for 7 8 days, and if you want on the third day, you can't do that into the FD. But when you do invest in the liquid funds, you can do that. So that's the other way. There is a lot of corporates also doing that about that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Meenu. And thank you, everyone, for participating. So, I hand over to Kalpana for concluding
So,
the session.
based on the answer I've heard, the question asked by Ashwini and Gunjan, uh, so I myself investing from the year becoming chartered accountant. Initially, I was doing for individual stock.
Mm-hmm.
Then now, from last couple of years, I do in mutual fund.
Okay.
When and question me being chartered accountant, having a background of understanding these detail, that which fund is giving the better yield, which one is not, what is the expense ratio, what is the exit load. In, after some research, we are comfortable to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, what do you prefer? Because doing it through a fund manager and giving some percentage of our earning
See
and doing
again.
it by our own.
See, again, it totally depends. If you are confident enough that hey, I am able to read that funds and I'm going to stay invested for a long term, definitely you can do it DIY. But as you said, you understand the definitions of that. What is expense ratio? So here it's a very thin line of understanding the definitions and reading a particular scheme and doing that versus, as I mentioned, that because every quarter or every 6 8 months the things keep moving. But in case if you have that capability to keep yourself up to the mark for the each things that you really want to, definitely you can go for your DIY. But definitely in case if you really wanted to focus on your taxations and the rest of the things helping others, then I would say definitely you should have yourself with somebody, associated yourself with, say that hey, in fact I would say that you could say that hey, I am a CA and we also have a financial expert. You can collaborate and have both the things into the one kitty kind of a thing. That's what I would say here.
Okay. Thank you.
And you can
Thank
choose mentor wealth as your partner. That's what I would
you.
say.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Meenu, for such a wonderful session and awakening, financial awakening for all of us. It is a small, as a token of appreciation from the team of Friday Fleet, the certificate we are sharing on the screen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm really glad to have this opportunity. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you to our wonderful moderator, CA Gunjan Bhatia, for taking this role so spontaneously and being there to handle and do the moderation so smoothly. Thank you so much, Gunjan. And it seems
Thank
like Gunjan
you.
is part of family, extended family of Friday Fleet.
Thank you. Thank you, Kalpana.
Thank you,
Last
Gunjan, for being my collaborative presentation. Thank
Last
Thank you,
but
Nikit.
not least, to our valuable participant of the session, uh, हिंदी में कहते हैं आप हैं तो हम हैं. So you are coming, showing up in every session. That's why we are getting that fuel that I do mention in every session. That to coming up with these type of sessions more and more. Wishing you all a very happy and actionable new year. Where your all your intention will turn into action and fruitful result. Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
you.
That's fun.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
Happy weekend, everyone.
Same to you. Okay.
Great weekend. Bye.